All right, so this is SecDSM. Thank you for coming. Just upfront disclaimer, we are rated R. So if you horribly crash and burn at Backdoors and Breaches later, you're allowed to say fuck. Just don't flip the tables because we rented these and we have to return them. All right, here's our agenda. So it is approximately 6:30, something like that. That slide is wrong. It's not news with James Beal. It's going to be news with Derek. Thank you, Derek. And then after that, we're going to try something new. We're going to play Backdoors and Breaches. I believe we have game masters for 5 tables. There's no limit to how many people can sit at a table. You guys can, I don't know, like in theory, all sit at one table if you really, really wanted. But whatever, branch out, meet some new people, play some games with us. It's a lot of fun. If you've never heard of it before, Backdoors and Breaches is an incident response card game that was created by Black Hills InfoSec and also I think Huntress and maybe somebody else might have contributed some. I don't know. It's a lot of fun. Basically the idea is they said it's too fucking hard to come up with incident response tabletops. So like why don't we just make it a card game? You just deal out the cards and then you've got your tabletop scenario. So that's what it is. After that, it says 8 o'clock, but like you guys can play for whenever. We just have to officially leave this back area at 9 o'clock. But the entire venue out front and everything is open until 10. We do often, if you've been here before, know that sometimes we meander on over to like Star Bar or someplace like that. Totally optional. Some of us take tomorrow off because we know we're going to be doing that. Some of us don't, and they just suffer through it tomorrow. But you're more than welcome to join us. Just talk to anybody who's still here when they kick us out. Housekeeping. So they put up this nice rope. Anything behind that rope, like don't touch it, because that's important, and we like this spot. There are 2 bathrooms. There's one over here in this little hallway area, and then there's one outside by where our sponsors are. Speaking of sponsors, they have been very generous in that they are paying for your drinks tonight. You don't have to get a drink token, but please go and talk to them anyways. They've got a lot of cool stuff, including a solo stove that you can win, or one of 10 bottles of bourbon, which if you were here during the Zscaler week, that was a really, really good bourbon. So you, if you didn't get one, can get one now, maybe. Or if you got one then, maybe you'll be lucky and you'll get a second one. All right, challenge ideas, not people. So that's really important. We all here are like nice people. We also work in a very small community. Chances are, if you're mean to someone here, like you're gonna know somebody who probably knows somebody who's a hiring manager the next time you apply for a job. So like, just be nice, challenge ideas, don't challenge people. Read our code of conduct. It's very important. We do very much want to stress that it is 0 tolerance. If you don't follow it, you'll be kicked out and then you won't get nice bourbon bottles and play Backdoors and Breaches and fun stuff like that. So very serious. All right, on that note, don't drink too much. I know that's weird. We're in a distillery, and I've had a few myself already, but I have time now to sober up a little. You can eat some pizza. You can also take a fucking Uber home. If you drink too much, that's fine. We got you covered. We'll pay for your Uber. Here's the link. It's also on Discord. If you forget how to use Discord and need the link later, we can hook you up. Just find us and talk to us about it. Speaking of find us and talk to us, here are some people you can talk to. Colin's not here, but myself and Brandon are here. We also have some wonderful volunteers. James Beal's not here. That's why Derek's doing the news. But Jared's still here, and I think I saw Jake somewhere. I don't know where he went, but he's here. Kenny's not here, but she also helps out a lot. Ways you can help. So we need speakers. So there's a reason we're playing Backdoors and Breaches tonight, and it's not because it's a really cool game, which it is. It's because there wasn't a speaker. So if you don't want to play Backdoors and Breaches every single night, then sign up to do a talk. Doesn't have to be complicated. Doesn't have to be like super, super technical. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. Could just be something cool that you've been doing like in your free time. Otherwise, CTFs. You'll notice we don't have a CTF tonight. You guys could maybe volunteer to run a CTF one of these times. That's cool. Otherwise, we do try to put one together, but it is a lot of work and it is kind of hard sometimes. So cool, like if you have an idea, even if it's just like a harebrained idea and you're like, I don't even know how I would do this, like talk to Jake or somebody and we can definitely help you even put that together. What else? Share ideas and then donations. So we take money on Open Collective. That's also where all of our financials are. I meant to put that slide in a different order. I don't know where it is. There it is. Financial transparency. All of our finances are on Open Collective. You can just go to the website and you can see everything. Speaking of donations, shout out to our friends. So these are people that spent a lot of money. I believe we actually need to update this now because I think Splunk and Optiv are actually supposed to be in that silver section. Speaking of, Splunk and Optiv are our sponsors tonight. So they're the ones that are giving away Solo Stove and bottles of bourbon and then also paying for your drinks. Food is provided by Casey's. Thank you, Casey's. All right, upcoming events. There's probably more. I don't know, are we missing stuff on here? I feel like the year doesn't end in October, but it kind of also does, doesn't it? Wild West is not on there. I'm going to Wild West. A number of us are going to that. That's going to be fun. What else are we missing? There's probably other things out there. In our Discord, also good segue. We're on Discord now, not Slack. I don't know if anybody's still on Slack, but you shouldn't be. But we have an events and cons channel in Slack where people are always talking about events and things coming up. You should join us there if you're not already. It's really cool. All right. And I think that's my last slide. If Derek wants to tell you about some fancy news things. I'm sure none of them have to do with Russia.
He gave away the secret. Good evening, everybody. My name's Derek, and I'll be standing in for James Beal, although I don't have the same charm and sex appeal that he does. So starting off with today, or starting off for the last month, so this one hits a little bit closer to military service members, but still kind of awkward to receive an unsolicited package of any type to your home. Somebody sent a bunch of smartwatches that had all kinds of weird stuff on them. The Army Counter Criminal Investigation Division said, don't turn these on, don't bring them here or anything. If you do receive one of these, turn them in. I saw a couple of threat researchers on Twitter as well saying, hey, if you have one, send it our way, we'll pay for it. So if there's any other threat researchers, not saying I have one, but if you're willing to pay some money, I might know some people. Anyways, they might also think that this is part of brushing. This is a new term that I discovered from this, and it's where companies will send you products unsolicited, and you'll go, oh, this is actually kind of neat. And then they prompt you for a review, and it builds up their reputation as they try to sell you counterfeit products while beating out other guys. This is kind of important because recently the FTC has announced that they'll be cracking down on reviews, especially fake reviews or paid-for reviews at companies. So this kind of ties in with that, and along with a lot of changes that we're starting to see in the States. This was a pretty big one. The U.S., specifically the White House, current administration is looking to restrict China's access to cloud computing as it pertains to AI technology. So not cloud computing overall, but specifically cloud computing used for AI technology. Part of this is with a lot of other restrictions that are going on with China right now, especially technology areas. A lot of trade back and forth, a lot of trade and tariffs that have been put in place for the last couple of years over multiple administrations. And this will likely be a discussion and a bargaining chip as our Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen is currently over in China right now talking to Chinese Treasury and economic folks. Moving on, if you didn't see it yet, Verizon released their data breach investigations report. So it is a very long report. I won't bore you with everything. But one of the most interesting takeaways was the number one action used by threat actors was use of stolen credentials. This accounted for more than 40% of that initial access to follow-on actions. A lot of people, they even mentioned like, oh, you probably thought it was ransomware or some other exploit. Ransomware, malware accounted for 24%. It didn't go up or down. Its use of stolen creds are still the number one. A couple other items they wanted to highlight was social engineering. Still works. Business email compromise still works, and it's becoming even more lucrative. If some of you were in Discord last month, you saw me posting about somebody who texted me out of nowhere with the picture of a very pretty lady saying, hey, it was great playing golf with you, Lily. I went, I don't play golf. My name's not Lily. So they eventually wanted me to pivot over to WhatsApp and I'm sure continue the conversation with a new profile picture that looked nothing like the previous woman. And then a couple days ago I checked and now it's a man. So I don't think it's actually that person. But speaking of data breaches, there's been a whole lot that have happened recently. The first one I wanted to highlight because I don't want it to fly under the radar, but if you are looking to be a pilot for American Airlines or Southwest, your information might have been compromised recently. This affected over 8,000 applicants. So if you are a pilot or looking to be a pilot and somebody sends you an unsolicited message, email, text, call, whatever, and they're like, hey, we have your airman certification number, maybe treat them with a little bit of skepticism. Nickelodeon, somehow still relevant to today. They had 500 gigs recently breached. Nobody really seems to know what's in them. Everybody's clamoring for them so they can see all the lost episodes of Keenan and Kel or all that. And then finally, Move It. I don't even know the number of victims for this now. I think it's near 80 for the Move It campaign. But a couple of notable ones is the Oregon Department of Motor Vehicles that affected about 3.5 million people, which is larger than the state of Iowa. Louisiana, up to 6 million. The reason for that is because they might have some duplicates. And of course, government, Shell, Johns Hopkins University. I put that on there because one of the guys loves talking about how prestigious Johns Hopkins is, even though they've now been hit. So hopefully that takes his ego down a peg. And finally, the only competent Russian doing their job during the mutiny that happened a couple weeks ago. If you didn't hear about this, and it's it might play. It's thinking about it. Yeah. Well, spoiler, it's a street cleaner cleaning the street while there are tanks and Wagner soldiers just hanging around and people are just smoking on the corner. Nope. Guess not. That's all right. There are plenty more videos. Oh, is this whole thing gone? No, it's up here.
Hold on, what if we do this?
Thank you, Tier 1 support.
So I can still see it there.
But yes, if you didn't know, the latest news on the mutiny is that Yevgeny Prigozhin is now back in Russia for some reason. And if you haven't seen it recently, they published the photos of the raid on his house that coincided with June 10th, and it is wacky. He has like a giant... He has all these wigs. He's dressed up like Sacha Baron Cohen's character from The Dictator. He's got all kinds of gold bars and fake passports. It really looks like a shitty spy movie. Don't worry about it. We'll watch it later. If you're really interested, we'll pull it up on Twitter.
Put it on Discord.
I'll put it on Discord. Everything's on Discord. All right, so everybody, that is the news for this week. So we'd like to offer to anybody who is looking for jobs, go ahead and come on up. Or if you're looking to tell other people about jobs, that is my water. Now it's contaminated. But yes, if you are looking for jobs or you are somebody that is a hiring manager or work in a company that you know you're about to open up some jobs, we open up this time now to give you the opportunity to speak to everybody here. I'll actually go first because I am currently looking for a job in the next 2 months. So as I said earlier, my name is Derek. I am looking for an entry-level or junior associate position in a cyber threat intelligence analyst, which is what I currently do for the government. I have a bunch of SAN certificates. I just recently passed the INE Junior Pen Tester exam. So I've got all kinds of paper certs, but still looking for something to get my feet dipped into, specifically in threat intelligence, but also looking into malware analysis or governance, risk management, and compliance. All right, if anybody else would like to come up, now's the time.
We've been trying to hire for this position for a while. I might talk to you later. All right, my name is Dave Bailey, and I work for John Deere. And my team is actually looking for an entry-level assessment, so pen tester, looking to hack tractors. So we're looking for an embedded engineer, so somebody who's interested in IoT type things, or somebody who's interested in security that we can teach embedded things to. So, like I said, my name's Dave. Hit me up later.
Anyone else?
Hi, my name's Austin. I'm currently looking for like a junior to mid entry level position somewhere in cybersecurity. I've got some experience in kind of sysadmin work or kind of AWS cloud engineer work. Just kind of seeing what's out there.
Sweet. All right. Last call. All right. Then if that's it, next month we need speakers. Go sign up. Brandon wants you. Oh, you can't see it. We stopped sharing my screen. Brandon wants you to sign up to do a talk. That's all I got. All right, so what time is it now? All right, so in 7 minutes-ish, we're going to start playing Backdoors and Breaches. If you want to play, find a table. If tables are full, that's cool. You can just stand or wait for a table or ask somebody to get out of the chair so that you can sit instead. Like, it's all good. I think we've got enough moderators for at least 5 games, maybe 6. So that's the plan. Break.